Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We are back. It's the EGL League of Legends Championship, Summoner's Shield number 15. And it's going to be Game 2 of the Grand Finals between Team Synchronized on the blue side and Elite Gamers on the red. As before, my name is The Pash, and with me casting here is a good friend and co-caster of mine, Elthazar.
Yes, indeed, we are about to head to Champion Select for this second game, and I am very much expecting to see either a Nasus ban or an Orianna ban coming out from Team Synchronized.
Well, yeah, one of those two it's probably going to be. Let's see how they adjust their picks and bans to what we have seen last game. As it stands, Nasus immediately getting banned away. As you have said, Vi, Pantheon, Lucian. Interesting bans, actually, coming out of Elite Gamers here. Pantheon.
You don't very rarely see Pantheon picked, but once again, as you usually say, maybe they're going for a very specific strategy and they don't want Pantheon man dropping on their faces.
Nope, they do not. We do see Synchronized banning away that Shyvana as well. Renzi on Shyvana in the last game, a menace to deal with. And the last ban for Elite Gamers is going to be the Kassadin. Would have been very surprised to see that slip through, but what did slip through is the Annie. And that is going to go over to Capo Killer on Team Synchronized as a support. And Schizo's again hovering over Teemo. You can stop doing that. Nobody's falling for it.
Maokai would be very interesting to see, or they might try and steal away the Morgana. That would be quite fun.
Or
However,
pick Nautilus.
I'm tempted
Or pick
to say
Thresh.
that they could just pick Thresh. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, and so they did.
Considering the fact that Annie has been picked in the support role for Team Synchronized, I'm expecting to see quite an aggressive bot lane. With Annie does not necessarily fare too well in lanes where you're getting aggressed upon heavily. Mod, you can stop it now. We get it. And Vinted once again locking in the Vayne. Absolutely no hesitation there. He's still very confident in his abilities on that champion.
Yeah. Did have something of a rough time last game, but of course that was due to Ricky Wida getting ahead so immensely early on. Picking up those 5 kills in the first 7 minutes of the game, that was quite insane.
Mod does once again pick up that Udyr, so we are to see what else comes out. Okay, they're just trolling us now.
Yeah, of course they are. We just need to stop paying attention to it. Let's just act as if there was no champion being hovered over. As it stands, Ricky Wida picking up the Jinx.
I like to pretend that Teemo doesn't exist, so I can roll with that.
Yes. Ziggs also getting picked up.
Do it.
That's going over to their mid laner, Cap Yasmaki. Has done a terrific job on Orianna in the last game. Can see if he shines Ziggs as well.
Well, nuclear launch detected is going to be a sound that I may well, or a statement I may use multiple times. Abe once again hovering over that Malphite. He does very much seem to like that pick. Ost actually looking in the LeBlanc, which I'm going to say is a very good pickup against that Ziggs, because Ziggs does have a lot of skill shot based abilities. If Ost can just distort and say LOL you just missed, then that's going to be a lot of very, very easy trades for him.
Yeah, and on top of that, the immense burst coming out of LeBlanc as well. Ziggs is not the tankiest of mid laners.
I'd be interested to see of the meta who actually statistically was the tankiest. But you are definitely right in saying that Ziggs, not necessarily tanky, but has fairly good escape if he can use that satchel charge well.
That is true, though. We do see the Renekton being hovered over here for Elite Gamers and subsequently also picked up, so that's going to complete their team compositions. Let's go through them and then talk about them. On Team Synchronized side, which is blue, we got in the top lane, Abe on Malphite. In the jungle, Mod on Udyr. In the middle lane, it's going to be Ost on LeBlanc. Rounding up, it's going to be the bottom lane, Vintek and Capo Killer on Vayne and Annie.
And on the opposite side, for Elite Gamers, rest in peace, we have Ballheads in the top lane playing that Renekton. We have Renzi in the jungle on Lee Sin. We have Gapjazmaki playing Ziggs in that middle lane, and in the bottom lane we have Ricky Reader playing Jinx, and Skizozjer playing Thresh once again.
Yeah, and he was really, really good on that Thresh in the last game. We have seen many of those clutch death sentences. He always threw them out. He always landed them so, so well. Gonna see if they can pull through in this match and win the tournament. It is their chance, right here and right now. And just to make things less dramatic, let's discuss strategy now. Because strategy always kills the drama. So, team compositions. Take us through them. Take us what they want to do. I mean, Team Synchronized again, going for the Protect the Vayne. Apart from maybe the LeBlanc, who does not really fit into that pattern, we would have the Udyr, of course, as before with her Bear Stance stuns. Annie with her Tibbers. Flash Tibbers stun or Flash Disintegrate stun. Pretty much so many opportunities to peel away from the Vayne or even engage fights that they need to engage to get the Vayne to deal some damage. And Abe, as before, as in the last game, on that Malphite with the Unstoppable Force. So again, Synchronized going for Protect the Vayne, but what are we seeing from Elite Gamers here?
Once again, they do seem to go for a rather ragtag composition, but considering how well that composition like that went last game, I'm definitely not going to say that it's a bad idea. Renekton, of course, very, very tanky, has a good amount of damage as well. Same applies to Renzi on that Lee Sin. Thresh, also very naturally tanky, especially if you can pick up a lot of souls in the early stages of the game. Jinx, very, very powerful AoE damage, and of course that global super mega death rocket, and of course also great long range damage from the Mega Inferno Bomb coming out from Ziggs as well. So they could go for that potential of a incredibly long range nuke, but it would rely on both those ults landing well.
Yeah, they need to do that. They absolutely need to do that. I'm gonna see if they can pull ahead. Yes, please.
Once again, there is quite a lack of early tower control. There's a good amount of early poke, though, coming out from Team Synchronized. Of course, Ziggs, very good poke champion with those bouncing bombs. Jinx, of course, with the zap and the rockets coming out of Fishbones. And poke, not necessarily, but I suppose one could count the Sonic Wave as poke as well, although it's more than likely going to be followed up by the Resonating Strike as a very strong engage, especially if Renzi can get good and tanky and land a good Dragon's Rage onto a key target.
Yep. The insect, as many people call it. Can he pull it off? That is the question, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the last seconds of the delay period, as we are going to jump into the loading screen, and we have talked about level 1 already. So, we need to fill some time now, because usually we wait until the loading screen to talk about level 1. But we obviously did that already. So in the loading screen, what are we gonna talk about now? Have any ideas?
I was going to ask how you think team fights were going to go down, considering how things went last game, and how the team comps aren't necessarily as set in stone as they were in the last game.
Yeah, that's very true indeed. Now, we're in a loading screen, so everyone can get an overview over the summoners as well, but this time no teleports for any of them, as we did see 2 teleports overall, 1 for each team in the last game, so that's probably going to change things around a little bit. Then again, we didn't really see the teleport come into play that much last game. There were a couple of situations that were turned around by a very good teleport, but other than that, not many teleports across the map. And
Definitely not.
Vayne not going with a cleanse this time, going with a barrier.
Also looking to pierce a few hearts, taking that heart taker Vayne's skin. Also, your old favourite, unless I recall correctly, Pool Party Renekton is of course present.
Yes. Pool Party in general, really.
They do have some very, very good recall animations, I'd say.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do.
Also, Ost getting into the festive spirit as well. We do see Mistletoe LeBlanc.
Yes, that's true. It's December. We are just past St. Nicholas, December the 8th, and Christmas, ladies and gentlemen, is in 16 days. Do you already know?
Get excited.
Do you already know what you're gonna gift? And to who?
Absolutely.
Oh.
I think there are a couple of people I know who want certain Christmas skins. Then I probably will get those.
I'm probably gonna gift away some skins as well, because why not? It's nice to do, really.
Oh yes.
There are a couple of people I'm gonna
Goldie
gift skins
Saint of
to.
Giving.
Yeah. It is the
We
Snowdown
actually do see a
Showdown
little
after
bit-
all. I'm
We
sorry.
actually see a little bit of funny business coming out from the team of EG Rest in Peace.
The thing around that brush, will they be able
They've
to land the
found the
death
side
sentence?
attack.
Kapow Killer running away. There's a death sentence. It does not land, but the Sonic Wave does, and they dive in, dealing damage onto him. He's going very, very low. The entirety of Team Elite Gamers is behind him. He has to flash over the wall to get away from that. Early flash burned, and it does look like it's going to be the red buff invade for Elite Gamers.
Incredibly powerful there, and Abe just putting out in the chat, Mad Life. Yep, almost exactly the same as what happened to Mad Life in the Korean Championships. Did not get a decent scout, got absolutely decimated in that situation. Luckily for Power Killer, damage follow-up was not quite enough to kill him, and he was able to flash over the wall into the Golem camp. But that does leave Mod at a slight disadvantage due to the fact that he will be down his red buff.
And of course, Kapow Killer with the big disadvantage of not having his flash in that bottom lane, which especially against a Thresh and a Jinx can be very, very devastating, as we do see him get caught out. Nope, the death sentence does not quite land. The zap does not land either. Tried to deal some damage onto him, but he will not need his flash just now. Of course, if he does need it, won't be available, so gotta watch out.
You gotta watch out, you better not cry. Better not pout, I'm telling you why. Death sentences are coming to town, I don't know. Unfortunately, I couldn't make a good Christmas pun.
No. It's okay. You've had your share of puns for today. Oh, look at that. Captain Maki getting caught out here by Ost. Damage is going down onto him, and here's Lee Sin. The Ignite is down. Will he be able to pick up the kill? No, First Blood goes over to Ziggs. The Ignite is ticking away, but it will not be enough to take him down. Ost going in a little bit too deep right there, giving First Blood over to the enemy mid laner. And now Mod getting caught out as well, flashing from Renji, who has to run through the Hextech minefield. It's going to be another kill over to Elite Gamers, and this game starts off in a very, very similar fashion to last game.
Once again, this is going horribly for Team Synchronized. Ost going a little bit too aggressive, Mod getting caught out. They really need to do something just to stabilize this at this point.
Yes, indeed. They need to do something. They cannot let it run like last game, because that obviously ended up in a loss for them, in a pretty devastating loss, too. Let's see if they are able to pull themselves out of it and potentially bring it to a Game 3, but it's not a good start. As Abe gets aggressed upon by Renekton in the top lane, but he's going quite low himself. It's just the top lane quarrels. It's what happens on the top lane.
Well,
Damage gets dealt.
Definitely. Renekton, of course, has that massive advantage at this point because he did manage to get the double buff from killing Mod in that middle lane. Which means that Abe has to be extremely careful because that red buff does actually add a surprising amount of damage.
Yeah, especially this early on. It is true damage after all. And Abe going very low in that top lane. As you do see Mod hanging around in that bottom lane area, potentially looking for something here. But the word gets placed in the tri-brush, and he will get spotted out. Schizos and Ricky Wida will back away from this one. Stay at a safe distance until the bear goes back into his jungle.
Well, we do see Renzi going towards, of course, that fairly new mob, the white or right, I don't actually know the correct pronunciation.
I think it's
Mod
white.
actually coming in on the middle lane.
Well, on the mid lane indeed, gets Mackie Mace in some trouble. He does use the satchel charge to get away, but gets bear stunned immediately by Mod, We'll be able to get away from this alive, though, or will Oz use... No, he gets taken down by a bomb. He waited around for a little too long. It was actually, I actually thought he would try to dash in and pop the mark, get the kill.
I think all chains missing there was actually the undoing of Ost. Had it landed, it would have popped the mark made by the Sigil of Silence and would probably have killed Captain's Marquis, but unfortunately it was not to be, and again, things stacking against Synchronized at this stage.
Yeah. Samaki was able to turn around a 2 versus 1 gank and pick up the enemy mid laner without going down himself. When that happens, you know, you're not in a good place, and they are not in a good place. At 5 minutes into the game, almost 6, the gold lead is already at 2,000 in favor of Elite Gamers, and in the bottom lane, things are not looking well. Vintek going very low, and Kapow Killer also going very low. 1 death sentence is pretty much all it takes. But we do see Elite Gamers now backing away. Vintek and Kapow Killer do not quite know that they are, so they're gonna stay safe behind the minions. Because after all, they could still be in this brush. In the top lane, we do see Renzi potentially waiting for a dive here. As Renekton pushes the lane into the turret, and here he comes into action. Will the Sonic Wave land? He does run in. Oh, they do decide to dive onto him. He gets stunned under his turret and picked up by Renzi. That's another kill over to Elite Gamers and Team Synchronized. What is going on?
Most certainly not living up to their name in this game. We saw that was a very well-timed engagement actually from Team Elite Gamers, since the fact that both had hit level 6 and Mod Abe had not. Incredibly good time for the engage, since the Unstoppable Force couldn't save his life. The mid lane Ost going incredibly low.
Yeah, see, there's a satchel charge. He does manage to get the chains off before he can jump into him, and here comes Mod, but Mega Inferno bomb is getting thrown out as well. The Ignite is down onto Mod. One more bomb is going to get thrown into his direction. Not quite able to pick up the kill, and Ost now going aggressive right here, but the Ignite is ticking away onto Gepsamaki. Will be able to pick up the kill. First kill over to Ost in this game. First kill overall for Team Synchronized.
Skizzo's is actually coming across. I'm not sure if he's going to catch Ost out. No, he backs away. But Renzi does steal away that blue buff and is now heading top to gank once again. This could be very bad for Abe.
Yes, he is very far out indeed. And here, Renekton immediately goes in upon seeing his jungler arrive. Will they be able to pick him up right here? Their flash is forced. Sonic Wave is flashed away. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we did see Jinx go down to the vein. So I am just going to jump back 15 seconds to see what is going on right there. The flash forced out of Rikivita barrier as well. But Kapow lands a nice stun. Gets condemned against the wall. Vintek picks up the kill. Nice play right there. I'm going to give another kill over to Team Synchronized.
Back in the present day, Renzi is trying to pull the exact same trick. Dominus is back up for Volts, so they are really trying to shut down Abe.
He is running in. Dragon's Rage is used, and he is getting stunned again by the Ruthless Predator. But now Mod is coming in as well. Ape going very, very low. Renekton getting stunned under the turret. He has the Dominus available. He will flash in and pick up Ape, but now he has to run away from Mod. And Renzi is nowhere near. Ost coming here as well. Renekton slicing and dicing away. Will he be able to survive this one? No, one more auto attack out of Ost picks up the kill. He has to flash over the wall, but the resonating strike out of Renzi follows immediately, but he went in where he should not have went in. He gets picked up. Double kill over to LeBlanc. This is exactly what Synchronized needed.
Definitely, Ost picking up 2 kills is now 3 and 2, doing incredibly well for himself. The bouncing bomb not quite enough to interrupt that back, so he can get back to base. He has just over 1,000 gold, with which he picks up a blasting wand. It's going to be very nice, considering what that can build into.
Yep.
Yet more pushing going on in the bottom lane.
Looks like actually going aggressive a little bit. Death Sentence coming out, not quite landing. Skizos has been landing a better death sentence into the last game. And here, actually, the Tibbers onto Rikivita, but Rex immediately there to flay Kapow Killer and Vintek away. Final hour was burned, but to no avail. It's going to help him a little bit with his lifesteal. Has picked up that Vamp Scepter already.
Not necessarily the final hour, maybe the penultimate one.
Well, yeah, that could be. Final hour would be next game then. Skiteo is again going very low right there. Fintech is sitting on a good amount of health down in their bottom lane, and here comes Mod. Ricky Wida and Schizo's maybe in a lot of trouble. Mod nicely avoids the Flame Chompers, gets death sentence though, and the aggression is turned around onto him. He will not be able to do anything here, and Elite Gamers do get away alive.
I think Cacao and Killer need to be very, very careful at this point, because Super Mario Death Rocket, if a zap is landed first, could definitely pretty much be the end of him.
Yes, indeed. Well, now not anymore, because he has healed himself up quite nicely. But in the meanwhile, Renzi and Oz in a little bit of a quarrel. He just uses the teleport merc to get back, and now going on to Ricky Wida. He uses the Dark Passage to get away, but he will run into Kapow Killer, who will use the stun, or will he? There's the exhaust, but Kapow Killer will go down here to Ricky Wida. He's gonna run away, but Vintech is there to pick up the kill. 3-for-1 trade in favor of Synchronized, and they are ahead in kills at this point. That's exactly what they needed. Now, Gypsy Maki may be in some trouble as well. He ran into a full Synchronized team, or actually only 2 members, but Vintech has activated the Dark Final Hour. Will get picked up here by Ziggs. Wonderful play.
That was just the dark edge of...
Oh! LeBlanc getting picked up here by a stray bomb.
Dark edge of hesitation in the case of Vintech, and the dark edge of green in the case of Ost. 2 of the deadliest sins, I would say, in terms of League.
Yeah, they're deadly indeed. And here we do see Elite Gamers picking up their first turret of the game. They're gonna go aggressive there onto Abe, dealing a lot of damage. The minions will be able to pick up the turret. And now Abe is joined by Mod, and Bathy's may be in a little bit of trouble. Does activate the Dominus. Try to get the kill onto Abe. He slices and dices into him. Dominus is activated, but it will not be enough to take him down. Will he try to use the flash? He's still in a little bit of a quarrel with Mod. Will go down here. Mod picks up the kill, but here comes Renzi. Abe, where's the brush? Sonic Wave, of course, has just been used. In the meanwhile, Yaptamaki getting caught out here by Ost, using the Satchel Charge to get himself away, but the Sonic Wave does land, and Renzi does jump in. He does follow the real LeBlanc, and deals some much-needed damage. In the meanwhile, Mega Inferno Bomb used onto Abe, not quite enough to take him down. Lots of low health bars on Team Synchronized, but no deaths.
That was an incredibly good play from Ost. He managed to move his clone sufficiently far away that when Renzi tried to follow up with another Sonic Wave, he actually jumped into the clone.
Oh, wow. That was quite impressive then. But now Ost, Mod, and Abe, the 3 Bobo Densei brothers, are at the blue buff. And it was stolen away by Elite Gamers. And is now sitting on the Blind Monk. That's a nice, successful blue buff steal. Elite Gamers, 13 minutes into the game, still ahead in gold, almost 3,000. 1 turret to 0. The kills are now even. And the stun does land onto Schizo's, yeah, in the bottom lane. Takes a bit of damage from Vintech, but Ricky Wida is there to deal some damage back with his Fishbones rockets. Will now get chased away though, and the stun does land. There's the Tibbers. They may be able to pick up some kills here. Vintech going very low, actually. Super Mega Death Rocket is available. There it goes. He has to flash it. And now Schizo's, yeah, goes in too deep. Not sure what he was thinking right there. He flashes in, uses the death sentence, but it's of no use. But here comes Yapsamaki and Renekton. Vintech in a little bit of a bad situation. Tries to take down Ricky Wida. Will not be able to, though. Gets picked up. 1 for 1 in that bottom lane. 4 members of Team Elite Gamers now onto that turret. Mod coming in, but there is Renzi immediately trying to kick him back into the team, but instead he takes a lot of turret damage, gets exhausted under the turret. Kapow Killer will go down, though, as he comes in as well, but here comes Oz, dealing a lot of damage on Japtimaki. Look at that burst coming out right there. And Renzi is going to be the last target. Mod is in pursuit. Will activate his Bear Stance, trying to get close, but the Dragon's Rage does come out. And in the meanwhile, Renekton trying to get onto Ost. He does follow the real one. Nice jukes coming out right there, but will he be able to follow up? Flash is not available. In the meanwhile, they do pick up Renzi due to a nice flash. Renekton now trying to get onto Ost. He tries to deal as much damage as possible, but he's getting chunked down by Mod and Ost. Here comes Vintech as well. Nice turnaround from Synchronized. They are doing well. They are doing so well right now. They are doing exactly what they need to do.
Team Synchronized are now back in sync, and Abe does pick up the top tower, which means the gold lead is still only around 2,000, 15 minutes into the game this time. So, gold definitely looking much more favourable for Team Synchronized at this point, 15 minutes into the second game of this best of 3 finals of the Summoner's Shield number 15 EGL League of Legends tournament.
That was the longest sentence I have ever heard, but you were all also absolutely correct. I'm gonna see if they can take it into Game 3 of the EGL Summoner's Shield number 15 Grand Final Tournament between Team Synchronized and Team Elite Gamers on this Sunday, December the 8th, just past 9:30 p.m. GMT. There, I topped it. And now we see the engagement come down. Tibbers is used, but the death sentence lands onto Vintek. He immediately dives straight in, uses the flay, but Rookie Vita is under pressure from Cow Killer and Vintek. He will go down here, and Mod coming in as well. Thresh in a lot of trouble, will go down as well. Gonna be another kill over to Vintek. 2-0 in that bottom lane.
Very, very good trade for Team Synchronized at that point. As you said, 2 for 0, and this is a perfect opportunity to go for the dragon.
Yep, and they are doing exactly that. They are going for the Dragon. Renzi gonna try to get in, get the steal. Will he be able to? Does place the ward. But there's the unstoppable force out of Renzi, out of Abe, trying to get onto him. He's going very, very low. The block is directly in his face. Will take him down. Dominance has been activated by Renekton. Dragon still not down. Has reset. Mega Inferno Bomb coming down, dealing some good damage, but Aethes will go down here. That's to pick a Death Rocket. Manages to pick up Mod. Ost. So they are shoot away from the dragon in a 2-for-1 trade that went in their favor. But now they're all quite low, and Elite Gamers will have the opportunity to pick the dragon up for themselves here. Intech, Mod, and Kapow Killer. Kapow Killer eating a bomb, going very low. They do decide to give this right up as another bomb comes down onto Vintek, or does they? Nice satchel charge, keeps Mod away from the dragon. They will be able to pick it up right here. And they keep their gold lead firm.
Definitely, but the kills are now going very solidly in favor of Team Synchronized, so it is only the objectives that are actually in favor of EG Rest in Peace at this stage. 3 for 1 also the turret, so they do have some very, very good objective control thus far.
Yep. Indeed, Synchronized picking up some kills, but we have talked about this already in League of Legends. You can have all the kills you want. If you aren't going to make something out of them, then you might as well not have them. And Elite Gamers showing it. They have less kills, but they have more gold because they have, because they have more objective. And the bottom lane boxes you with Vintek's going very, very low, but the Tibbers immediately comes out of Annie. Vintek actually managed to pick up Schizos. Yeah, will manage to pick up Ricky White as well. It's gonna be not a double kill because Kapow Killer secures that kill away.
Was definitely secure though, because Vintek was incredibly low. There was very little margin for error, and definitely the right choice, making sure his carry got out there alive. Also shooing Renzi away, making sure that Vintek has a nice and easy time getting rid of these minions.
Yep, that's another 2 kills going over to Synchronized. As Elite Gamers are beginning to struggle here. They're still in the lead, but only ever so slightly, and 18 minutes and 40 seconds into the game. A 1,000 gold lead doesn't really mean much. Gonna have to make a push for these objectives. What they're trying to do right now, and here comes LeBlanc though, diving in. And here's the fight. They're trying to turn this around onto Mod though, also going dangerously low. The double has been popped. And Renzi does get snared by the chains. They both got very low. They managed to defend their inner turret, but Elite Gamers making a strong push.
Power Killer and Vintek moving up to that middle lane after picking up that bot outer. Slightly reducing the tower lead, but the next big objective for them is definitely going to be this middle outer. Question is, how much of a fight is EGRP actually going to put up over it?
That is very true. As it stands, Rookie Wida and Schizos, yeah, I think in this brush, Flame Chompers are used to keep Mod away. Nice use of those little things.
Definitely. Items coming out across the board at this stage. Captain Markey was going to back, but decides against it, they are going to push some aggression in this jungle. While things are relatively quiet, I want to go over the match at this point. In the top lane, we do see a good advantage for Barless, going 138 to 89 in CS. Does have 2 more deaths, but also has two more kills. However, the gold slightly stabilized by that extra assist that Abe had at this stage in the game. In the jungle, almost double CS, even though CS doesn't matter anywhere near as much, I would say, on a jungle.
Death sentence lands onto Vintek. Nicely done by Thresh. Look at that. She explodes, has to flash away, condemns away the Renzi, but will go down to the Mega Inferno Bomb. Nice play right there from the Thresh. There's the flash in from Renzi trying to kick Kapow Killer away. He does succeed in doing so. They're now going to go onto her as well. That's another kill over to Elite Gamers. But here comes LeBlanc coming in as well, but 3 people immediately flash after her. Oh, the Super Mega Death Rocket will be enough to pick her up. 3 kills to Elite Gamers in this bottom lane. And this is what they needed. They're now going to push down this bottom inner turret with a force of 4. While Renekton applies pressure onto the middle lane, pushing down that lane as well. And there are simply not enough members of the team synchronized up to prevent this from happening. Bottom inner goes down. Renekton is on middle inner, and he's just chunking away at it. He doesn't even care about Abe. Now that the minions are gone, he deals some damage and then slice and dice the hell out of there. But now Ricky Welder gets caught here by Bubba Densei Mod. Here's the unstoppable force out of Ape. He will go down. Nothing anyone can do. Nope. Lantern was thrown in, but it was not quite enough. And Arenzi going to be the next target as Vintek is back. Dark Final Hour has been popped. Good, so yeah, now going to be the next targets. They do decide to follow him. There's the flay, but it will not be enough to save his life. He tries to death sentence to the dragon, but it is of course not there. And he of all people should know because he picked it up.
Yes, indeed. 90 seconds until the dragon actually respawns. Renzi is going to get chased. Ost, if he lands the ethereal chains, could definitely have a good chance of killing him. Also, Gabby's marking, putting out those
safeguards
bombs.
away. Oh, he fails the flash. He's now getting circled in by 3 members of Team Synchronized. The mark is on him, but the dash will not quite be enough to pick him up. Does try to use the satchel charge to get away, but it was too late.
Yep, blue buff going to get stolen away, most likely going to go on to Ost. Yep, there it goes. And dragon respawning in 45 seconds, but they still haven't cleared out this vision ward in the dragon pit. Oh, no, there goes Kapow Killer to clear it out just now. Abe could actually be in trouble if Ricky Wider and Skizos actually catch him at this point, and there he is.
Abe now getting circled in by 4 members of Elite Gamers. Nice death sentence through the wall. Look at that. He's getting bowled in. He's getting kicked away. He's getting killed. And it's Renzi who picks it up. Now Kapow Killer and Ost have to run away. The zap lands onto Tibbers. Nice use of that bear right there, but Athase is going to slice and dice in directly onto Kapow Killer. They're not even going to bother with Ost. That sentence coming out, but not quite landing. Kapow Killer will go down as well. That's 2 kills over to Elite Gamers at this point. Ost has to run away, but Death Sentence will be back soon. The chains do land, but it's not quite enough burst to take him down, and now that the cooldowns are gone, it is an opportunity for Renzi to dive straight in, but the cooldowns are now back. He's going to deal some more damage as Mod and Ost are leading the offense. Death Sentence not quite landing onto Mod, not managing to save Bathy's life right there, but it does not look like he'll be needing any life saving because they now turn the aggression around onto Mod. The Mega Inferno Bomb will not quite be enough to take him down. Super Mega Death Rocket barely missing. Ost waiting at the side, looking for an opportunity to get in, but they immediately collapse onto him, forcing him away. They take down the middle inner turret in a very strong push, and they're going to ping the dragon here as well, and that is what Elite Gamers is doing. They're not going for mindless kills. They're going for kills when it matters. And when it matters, they do get them, and then they get the objective. They took the middle inner, they took the dragon, or they are currently taking the dragon, and Syncronised is not going to be here in time to contest this one.
No, they will not. Ost actually goes in onto Ricky Ryder, but instantly jumps back. That distortion was maybe a little distorted in logic.
Please stop.
They're getting periodically worse, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
I mean, the Synchronized one, it was pretty good. And the Rocky Weta one was also pretty good, but I think there's a point where someone just needs to stop.
Thank you for the heads up on that then. Meanwhile, we do see the 4 members of Team Synchronized group up to take that middle outer turret. No damage actually going down onto Abe. He's getting incredibly tanky at this stage, but all of
Oh,
his
that's the
tanky
unstoppable force knocking up 3. This might be huge for Team Synchronized. The fight immediately breaks out of the box and deals Ziggs jumping away with his satchel charge, but Ventek going very, very low. Super Mega Death Rocket will be enough to pick up a Pow Killer, but they're now on to Renzi. Ape going very tanky, as you have said, but so far it's 1 kill over to Team Synchronized, and there's Renekton coming in from the side, trying to get onto Ost. Ruthless Predator will not be enough. He dukes it out as best as he can, but he will jump straight into Thresh, who will pick him up with a auto attack. Ape, in the meanwhile, has to flash the satchel charge. Gets caught out by the zap, though. Now Mott coming in from the side as well, getting aggressed upon. 2 for 1 in favor, 2 for nothing in favor of Elite Gamers, and they are getting back into this game quite nicely. They were never really out of it.
Very, very true, and they instantaneously make a beeline for the Baron. Well, a lead line would also work.
I think let's go with the beeline, because that is what they did. And a nice Hextech Minefield placed right where Mod would come in. They know that Baron is going on. They know that they can't contest it. Elite Gamers picking up the first Baron Nashor of the game. After 26 minutes and 5 seconds, their gold lead is now back to 8,000.
Definitely. Items coming out across the board. We see a Tiamat picked up on that Renekton. Almost. Well, since there's nothing else that can be built into, that's going to go into Ravenous Hydra. One of the best damage items to have on Renekton. He's been focusing on that tank, however, in the early stages of the game. Has that Sunfired Cave and, of course, the Spirit Visage, making him very, very sustainable. You see Renzi going for a fairly similar path, very, very tanky, with the Spirit of the Ancient Golem. He does have the Age of the Legion, which is going to likely be built forward into the block at the Iron Solari fairly soon, and a Giant Spell, which can go to all manner of things.
Yep. Items been picked up all across the board, but right now Elite Gamers are all baroned up, and seeing as they are a very, very objective-focused team, they're still behind 4 kills, but they're up 8,000 gold, and that is quite remarkable at this point. This is Synchronized now, getting ready for inhibitor defense duty, as their middle inner is down, and their bottom inner is down, and there's a huge wave pushing in their top inner. All the possibilities for Elite Gamers, but Oz coming in from the side, diving straight onto Ziggs. Will he be able to take her down? Yes, he will. Flashes the Mega Inferno Bomb. That's the first kill over to Synchronized, but look at that. There's the Unstoppable Force knocking up 3, but Balays will just pick up Vintek, and that's the main source of damage gone here for Synchronized. LeBlanc also coming in here. It's a double kill so far for Renekton, but they managed to turn it around. Mod picks up 1 as well. So far it's a 3 for 2 trade, but they're now on to Mod, and he's running away. The Lantern was also placed, but Renekton did not quite get the opportunity to grab it. They're going to use the box. They're going to slow him down. Mod will go down here. He does use the bear stance to get that slow lifted, and he's doing a good job of keeping Renzi and Schizos, away from their base, away from their turret. The death sentence does come out. It does not quite land, and look at that. He's still running away. He is still running away. Finally, he gets flayed back in, but look at that. He's just activating this bear stance. Still running. Sonic Wave does land. Resonating Strike does land. He's going to go down. No turtle stance will keep him alive just a little bit longer, but another Sonic Wave and the Resonating Strike will be enough to take him down. Wow.
Mod ran until his mana ran out.
He certainly did put up a good fight, or a good flight.
Definitely, we do see Renzi and Schizos,
wow. That's a dead Renekton, alright.
3v1, it's kind of to be expected.
Yep. Even a Renekton cannot win a 3v1, at least when he's not fed. But nice use of the Dark Passage, immediately get Lee Sin back into position, into formation for another push onto this middle inhibitor. They are down their tank, which against a Vayne can be very devastating. But they're still there in force. There's still a Baron on some of them, namely on Lee Sin and Ziggs. No, not on Ziggs, Lee Sin and Thresh. I mean, certainly there are better targets to have Baron on, but still, Baron is better than no Baron, no matter where it is. And look at those bombs coming out of Ziggs, dealing some nice damage onto Ost. Passive was already popped. There's a Super Mega Death Rocket for some reason, dealing some damage. And as Renekton slowly makes his way back to the middle lane, we do see Elite Gamers pick up the first inhibitor turret of the game for them, and they do decide to go for it. They do decide to go aggressive onto Abe. As the death sentence lands onto Mod, he's now in the middle of 4 team members of Elite Gamers, going very, very low. There's the Unstoppable Forge, though. Mega Inferno Bomb coming out as well. Look at that damage. Bobo Denzaya Oz does dive in, managed to pick up the Jinx. They managed to pick up another kill as well here. Vintek taking down the Thresh, but Renekton is now back, and he is there in full strength. Is at full HP. Look at that. It's a triple kill for Lee Sin. Vintek managed to pick up the double kill in return. But it is an ace for Elite Gamers. They will be able to pick up the inhibitor here. Not sure if they'll be able to pick up the game since, while respawn timers are pretty high, they do lack the damage to even take down this inhibitor. They're certainly going to start a push on the Nexus turrets. I'm not sure if it will be enough to take them down. Annie will be back up now. Kapow Killer has respawned. Going to do his best to prevent those Nexus turrets from going down. Renzi actually going very low, but he does not care. We'll just keep attacking that turret and then safeguard away once it's down. So they get an inhibitor and they get a Nexus turret. Oh, diving straight in. Dragon's Rage is used. The Sigil of Silence is still onto him. There is the Distort. He flashes it. Flashes the chains, too. That's the Sonic Wave, and here comes Ricky Weeda. He dives straight in. Ready to deal some damage. There's a Super Mega Death Rocket. Not enough to take him down. But he is going very, very low. Abe is there to body tank the Zap. That was clearly intended to take down Oz, but they do not manage to do so.
No, they do not. Oz is going to back out with his life, something he definitely needs to treasure at this stage. Items. I think a very important thing to point out at this point is the fact that the AD carries are not too far apart. The only major difference that you see is that extra pickaxe. So it's approximately 1,000 gold difference between Vayne and Jinx. Jinx has that extra pickaxe, but with that pickaxe, that really only scales onto bonus auto attack damage, because most of her abilities actually scale with ability power.
Well, yeah, that's true. Flame Chompers, I think Flame Chompers do scale with ability power, but I think Zap scales with AD. Zap has to scale with AD. They're now going on to Oz. Look at that. The damage is just so high, but the Unstoppable Force in from Ape. Look at that. Oz is trying to get onto Ricky. Will have Mega Inferno Bomb getting thrown out, but Team Elite Gamers is going strong. They want to take down Oz. Tries to distort away, and now Mod is going to be their next target right in there. Renekton picks himself up a double kill, having popped that dominant. In the meanwhile, we do see a death sentence attempted onto Kapow Killer. Will get picked up by an auto attack from the Chain Warden. Nice flash out of Malphite, but he flashes from one danger into another. Head on. Ready to get taken down. It's a 4-for-1 in favor of Elite Gamers. And they will start the push on the middle lane now.
3 Sunfire Capes currently being held by EGRIP. The AoE clear is truly ridiculous.
Yeah. And Bathes is just too strong for LeBlanc to handle. They're now going to collapse onto the next Nexus turrets as Lee Sin dives straight onto Vintek, trying to distract him. Oz gets taken down here by a box. Vintek does manage to take down Lee Sin, but the Nexus is going down. It is taking steady damage. It will go down, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the EGL Summoners Cup Summoners Shield number 15, and Elite Gamers pick up the win and the first prize of 3,200 RP and Triumphant Rise per player by taking down Team Synchronized in the Grand Finals, sweeping them away 2-0. The first one was kind of a stomp. Synchronized put up a good fight in game 2, though. Very nicely done.
Well, all's well that ends well for them, but you can definitely say honorable mention to Team Synchronized. They did do very well in that second game, trying to claw themselves back a victory. And they do actually go away with 2,400 RP per player. So, well played both ways.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away just yet, because we will have an interview coming up with a player from the winning team. We'll just go into a short break, and when we're back, I'm going to have to hear some thoughts from the winners of EGL Summer Shield number 15. Stick around.